everyone, welcome to the book station and a very happy Dasara from me, Sanjana. If you are new here, thank you for joining. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. Today in India, it's Vijayadashami, which we celebrate as Dasara. And if you are going through hard times, just like most of us are, especially during the pandemic, always remember that goodness will prevail in the end, and that's the entire idea of celebrating Dasara. So I wish all of you a very happy Dasara. So today I thought, why not show you some of the books that have been added to my bookshelf very recently. So the first time ever that I filmed a bookshelf tour was in the month of August, and I have a video on my channel here. If you haven't watched it already, I'll link it somewhere here or in the description. And after that, I did get a lot of books as gifts from my dearest friends, and I also bought a few which are very precious, and most of them are quite good. So I thought, why not share it with all of you today? So let's get started. So the first book that I have here is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So this book is set in the southern part of America, where black lives or black people are looked down upon because they are considered slaves. So this book is set in 1930s and told from the perspective of Jem Finch, who are less than 10 years of age. Their father is a lawyer who has been asked or appointed to defend a black man who has been accused of raping a white woman. So all of a sudden, Jem and Scout, who have had a very comfortable life in their village, are all of a sudden teased by their classmates, scolded by elders around their house, and they are very confused and look up to their father for guidance. So you in this novel will look at the irrational ideas that elders have through the perspective of Scout and Jem Finch, and this is an absolute gem because it shows the irrationalities that we as upholders of the society have built, but from the innocent perspective of two young kids. So I think this is definitely a must read. Even for someone who's not interested in reading, this is a must read. The next book that I have here is a self-help book called Ikigai, and I'm absolutely in love with this cover. This is a hardbound book, and the quality of the paper is quite high, and it's also looks like a handmade paper and smells great as well. So Ikigai, I'm sure all of you have heard of it, is a Japanese secret to living a long and peaceful life. But to be honest, this book isn't something our Indian parents haven't told us, but it just tells you with a lot of evidence and research from these two authors here. So Ikigai, is simply put, is finding peace in your everyday life. Why do you have to wake up early? I'm sure your parents ask you to, but why is the question? And that question, to arrive at the answer to that question, you need to follow several things that I'm sure our parents and our elders and people around us keep telling us. One, exercise all the time. Even if you can't go to the gym, just move around and walk. Second, eat healthy. It's very important to eat healthy, is what they say. 3, build a community. Be a part of community events. Have a good friend circle with whom you can laugh and share a lot of good memories. So those are some of the ideas shared in Ikigai. I'm sure you can find many other review videos, so I'm not going to talk much about it. But this is definitely a good starter for someone who's looking for self-help books and for basic ideas or basic advice about living a peaceful life. The next book that I have here is quite exciting. It is The Interpretation of Dreams by Sigmund Freud. So I'm sure all of us have those times when we wake up in the morning and remember an absurd dream, whether it's being chased by a snake or becoming a cat or just flying like a pigeon. We all have your dreams, but we never know the meaning of those dreams. And this book is written by Sigmund Freud, who is the father of psychoanalysis. He was the first one who understood the subconscious, the unconscious, and wrote this book to interpret the absurd dreams of his clients. And I have been very interested in this book for a very long time because I studied psychology in my bachelor's degree, and since then I've been quite interested in understanding the psyche of human beings. And so my dear friends gifted me this, and it's a quite a thick book, so I'm hesitant to jump into it, but I definitely will study this very soon. The next book that I have here is Anna Karenina. I'm sure all of you have watched the movie Anna Karenina, starring Keira Knightley. If you haven't, then you definitely should. But this is a Russian novel written by Leo Tolstoy, very famous Russian author, and it's about Anna Karenina, who's married to the statesman who's 20 years older than her. But she falls in love with a very young military officer, and obviously, in the Orthodox Russian society, it is considered a scandal. And this entire novel is her journey through the scandal to find meaning and love in her life. And I'm not really sure how good the book is when compared to the movie. I will be able to judge it only after I read it, and I'll definitely update all of you about it. The next book that I have here is Arvind Adiga's White Tiger. This was the first book of Arvind Adiga which won a Man Booker Prize, if I'm not wrong, in 2008, right? And this is about a very young man named Balram, who is born into the family of halwais, in other words, or people who make sweets. So it's his journey in life to climb up the ladder in society and achieve all his dreams and attain a lot of wealth. But along his way, he does something, a crime, murders his own master, and climbs up the ladder. I have heard a lot about this book, but I'm quite intrigued and interested in understanding the journey of Balram, especially in the Indian society. If you didn't know, this book is set in India, and it's set in Bangalore, the place that I live in. So, very excited. The next book that I have is Maya Angelou's Mom and Me and Mom, and this is the book that I'm currently reading. I'm halfway through it, and this is a very, very dear book. So, this is actually the seventh book in Maya Angelou's seven book autobiography. The first book is I Know Why the Caged Birds Sing, which I have read, and it's her journey from the time she remembers being born till 15 years old when she actually becomes a mother. So, this book here is the last installation in her seven book autobiography, and it was written before and published before, I suppose, she passed away. So, it has all the experiences and all her life incidences until she died. And this is a very empowering book. You see that Maya Angelou goes through so many ups and downs. She undergoes physical abuse, mental abuse, trauma, all of that, but she still rises and she still sings and makes her mark in the world. And that is why I said that this book is very dear to me. I definitely will update you on how I like this book once I finish it. The next, that is the last but second book that I have here, is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F by Mark Manson. If you didn't know, I have already read this book, and this is one of those books that changed my life forever. And this is a very new copy. I didn't have a copy, so I ordered one and I plan to reread it because this is one of those books that tells you or teaches you how to live your life without having to give a lot of importance to unnecessary things, unnecessary people, and unnecessary advices and opinions of the society. And that is why I said this has changed my life, because I have realized and understood the importance of focusing on my own energy, my own thoughts through this book. And for anyone who's looking to change their life or making your life a better one to live in, this is a must read book. It's not at all overhyped. I have heard a few people say that it's been hyped, overhyped, and not really worth it. But I really think for someone, especially in an Indian middle class family, this is a very important book. The last but not least, the book that I have here is Becoming by Michelle Obama. This was a dream, and I don't really know how it came true, but when I got this book, I couldn't believe it until I held it and I opened the cover and started reading a few pages. I'm sure all of you know who Michelle Obama is, but this is her life in her own words, and I'm quite excited to read it very soon. And this book is a gem, and I think it's going to be very dear and empowering as well. And those are all the books, and my books are starting to fall off. So before that, I'm gonna log off. And if you like this video, do hit the thumbs up button and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.